All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever had that little spark, that voice in your head that says, I should start my own business, then this is for you. We're going to go right back to square one, to the very first, and honestly, one of the most important decisions you'll ever make on that journey.
So, have you ever had that dream of being your own boss, building something from scratch? Yeah, it's a powerful feeling, isn't it? But hold on a second. Before you jump into all the fun stuff, like designing a killer logo or coming up with a clever name, there's a huge foundational choice you have to make first. Yep, that's it. The structure. I know. Structure sounds kind of boring, doesn't it? But seriously, trust me on this one. How you legally set up your business affects everything. We're talking how you pay taxes, how you get paid, and especially what happens if things don't go as planned. Getting this right from day one is absolutely key.
So what are we looking at here? Well, think of it like picking your character at the start of a video game. You've basically got three main paths you can go down, three main players on the field.
Kicking things off, we've got the sole trader. This is your solo adventurer. It is by far the simplest, most direct route. If you're a sole trader, there's no difference between you and the business in the eyes of the law. You are the business. All the profits are yours. But here's the catch, and we'll get to this. All the risks are yours too.
Okay, next on the list is the partnership. This is your dynamic duo option, or trio, or, however many of you there are. You and your partners own the whole thing together. You share the work, you share the decisions, and you share the profits. The big thing here is trust. You really want to have a solid agreement in place because legally you're tied at the hip.
And our third player is the limited company. Now, this is where things get really interesting. You see, a limited company is treated like its own person by the law. It's a completely separate legal entity from its owners, who we call shareholders. That means the company itself can own property, sign contracts, and even get sued all on its own. So there you have it, our three main paths: the sole trader, the partnership, and the company. And look, they're all totally legit ways to run a business. But, and this is a big but, the way they work, and more importantly, the way they protect you, is fundamentally different. And that difference really boils down to one massive idea. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about risk. Specifically, what happens when your business owes money. This is where your choice of business structure becomes a really big deal. And it all comes down to a concept called liability. So, what on earth is liability anyway? Let's just cut through all the legal jargon. All it means is who's on the hook for the business's debts. Simple as that. If the business owes money, maybe a loan, maybe you haven't paid a supplier, someone is legally responsible for paying that back. And this is where we hit a huge fork in the road. On one path, you've got what's called unlimited liability. The best way to think about this is you have zero protection, no financial shield. On the other path, you have limited liability, and that is exactly what it sounds like. It's a protective shield, a wall, between your business stats and your personal bank account. Just let that sink in for a second. This quote really hits home what unlimited liability means in the real world. If the business gets into debt that it can't pay, they can legally come after your personal stuff. Your house, your car. Yeah, it could all be on the line. This is a massive deal. And that brings us right back to our first two players. Because there's no legal separation for a sole trader or a partnership, you, the owner, are stuck with that unlimited liability. The buck stops with you personally. But with a limited company, that protective shield is up. Your personal assets are generally safe. It's the company's assets that are at risk, not your own. Okay, so risk is definitely the biggest, scariest difference. But it's not the only one. Let's take a quick look at how these three handle the other big stuff, like who owns what, who has the power, and what happens to all the property. This table lays it all out so clearly. Just look at ownership. For a sole trader, it's you. A partnership, it's the partners. But a limited company is owned by its shareholders. Now, check this out. Who gets sued? If you're a sole trader or partner, you get sued. Your name is on the lawsuit. With a company, the company gets sued. See the difference? Same thing with property. The company owns its own stuff. And what if you want to sell up and move on? As a sole trader or partner, the business pretty much dissolves. With a company, you just sell your shares to someone else. It's a totally different ballgame. All right, so after hearing all of that, the big question is, which one is right for you? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, right? The limited company and its corporate shield offer amazing protection. But, and you knew there was a but coming, that protection doesn't come for free. It's all about a trade-off. You're basically swapping simplicity for security.
Being a sole trader, super quick, super easy to get started. A limited company, though, well, that's going to take a bit more work.
So what's the price of that shield? Well, for one, it costs more to set up, and you have to go through a whole formal registration process. Plus, and this is a big one for some people, your company's finances become public record. Anyone can go online and look them up. You've also got way more rules to follow. It's just, well, it's more complicated. You get more protection, for sure, but you also get more responsibility and more paperwork.
So we've laid out the map. The sole trader path, perfect if you're starting small, maybe freelancing, or just testing an idea. It's fast and simple. The partnership, that's your go-to when you've got a trusted co-pilot to build with. And the limited company, well, that's the path if you're planning to scale, raise money, and build a lasting asset that's separate from yourself. Each path has its own risks and rewards. Now you know the options. The only question left is, which adventure are you ready to begin?